Hey everybody, it's the Review Revolution back at you. And even though we're done with the Marvel Legend figures for now, we're still going to stick with Marvel, but kind of scale it down a bit. And by that I mean we're going to take a look today at a couple of the figures, the Minimate figures, from, I'm not sure what wave it is, so I'll certainly call it the Battle Damage Wolverine, Battle Damage Mr. Fantastic, Captain America, Claw, Planet Hulk, Lady Loki, Secret War Storm wave. Somebody please tell me which wave this is so I don't have to say that again. But taking a look, yeah, we're going to go ahead and look at the Thor Reborn and Lady Loki. Now, the Claw with Secret War Storm, I do want to get those, and the Battle Damage Mr. Fantastic with Planet Hulk, I want to get those two as well. I don't have either one of those, and I do want to get them because I think they're both very, very cool. But in this case, the Asgardian Thunder God with Loki, too cool to pass up. Had to get them. Taking a look at the packaging, of course, we have the artistic rendition of the Minimates with the actual photo of the Minimate inside. The write-up, and forgive me, I know I'm going to say a lot of this stuff wrong. Thought killed during the Asgardian Ragnarok. Thor and his people later returned to Earth and recreated Asgard in the skies over Oklahoma. Along with his magical hammered Mjolnir, Thor resumes his fight against evil, including Loki. Of course, Loki, which looks very hot there. The devilishly manipulative Loki emerged from what I said earlier, looking rather different, having taking a new female form. Despite claims to the contrary, Loki continues to sow chaos and mistrust whenever possible. So, as hot as Lady Loki looks, you know that's just the scrawny punk that's been in the comics for years now, so have to be a little careful there. That's just a quick look at the packaging. We'll take a moment, we'll open them up, and have a look at the Minimates, so be right back. Alright, wow. Okay. I have to say and I say that a lot, I have to say a lot of things. But in this case, I have to say that Thor and Loki, for Minimates, certainly set a new standard for the Minimate figure. Taking a look, they absolutely they look just outstanding. They look terrific. I mean, of course, Minimates never have noses, but you can still get this kind of very serious look on Thor. And then he has his tunic and all the armor. Got stripes on his belt. The one thing that has always impressed me with Minimates is the amount of detail they do give the figures for such a small scale. You see the armor underneath. Great look on the cape. Very hard plastic on the cape. And it is just molded onto the kind of body shell that, some Minimates are getting now. Of course, he has the removable helmet, which actually is a really nice looking helmet. I like the wings on it. I like the detail on it. Oops. Another problem with Minimates is they don't want to focus real well. But he looks great. The biggest drawback is, of course, being that he's on a shell, he's not going to have a lot in the way of the articulation. The arm comes up a bit, comes out a little bit, not so much in the shoulder. Elbow, of course, bends fine, and his wrist does twist, though I find that whenever I start twisting the hands, that's when they start coming out. The legs come out, and they do bend. Oops. And he's got this really nice kind of knee guard here on the boot. And along with the shells, oops, see that's another thing too. Along with the shells, figures like Thor, the Grey Hulk, they're getting these lifts, these little pieces inside, so their legs actually don't go as far in, making them taller, and certainly much more impressive looking as far as how they look. It's just that whenever you start taking away from the parts that peg in, it kind of makes it a little more fussy as far as parts falling off. Same thing with boots. There are these new boots, which I think, no, Loki doesn't have them, but there are these boots that are like lifts, and they just don't peg in quite as well as the original foot. And they're just there to make the character a little taller. And they just tend to come off a little bit easier. In this case, Thor does come with his hammer. Nothing special about it. Doesn't have the engravings. It's just pretty much a brown and gray hammer, which will... Oops. Well, that's not what I wanted. There we go. It was out of focus. It doesn't count. Which you just put into his hand. Looks great. Really, really cool. Loki, as awesome as Lady Loki looks, she's probably going to be the one that I have to say is probably, style-wise, they're both very, very nicely styled Minimates. If you keep them just for display, these are probably going to be your favorites. As far as playability goes, this one's one of the weakest ones. She has this kind of, fur coat. For anyone who is against fur, she's got a fur coat because she's bad. Plus, she has this sash. So, just like with Thor's cape, the arm doesn't come up much. Does come out a bit. Elbow is fine. And her hand does twist, but of course, as I was mentioning with pegs, she's got her wrist gauntlet decorations kind of held in place with the peg on the hand, and I'm sure that if you start twisting the hand, the whole thing's going to pop apart. Of course, she does have the hair that pegs out as well. Otherwise, it would turn just fine, but not in this case. The legs don't really come out because the sash is in the way. The knee does kind of bend, but it doesn't really make much point because the jacket is in the way. So, maybe the cruelest joke that Loki's playing on us here is the fact that you can't really play with her. And don't take that for how it sounded. But great Minimate figures for display. I have to say, this is certainly setting a new bar for how the Minimates look as far as just style goes. Playability, meh, but still really awesome and highly recommended. This is the Review Revolution saying rate, comment, subscribe, join the revolution, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.